Hey guys, welcome to PhoneRadar. This is Chetan and this is the Motorola's Moto E, the first gen device, and we finally have the Lollipop update on this one. This is a good thing that for a budget device that's priced at ₹6,000 in the market right now, you are still getting the latest OS update, and that is possible mostly by Motorola and not other brands. That is evident here, and this is the new version that's 22.21.32.n.03. That's the version name, and it's Android 5.0.2 Lollipop. Motorola just has announced the Motorola Moto E 2nd Gen, which comes with Lollipop that's out of the box, but the update in the Moto E is still a very good thing to hear for the current users. So as you can see, the update is being downloaded right now, and now I'll install the update and then we'll check out what are the differences from what you had seen previously in the Moto E's KitKat. So the download is completed and it says installation time 30 minutes. You will not be able to place or receive phone calls including emergency calls during the installation. Let me tap on install now, and it would shut down initially and then the update would start. So there's this little status bar that is seen here under the installing system update note. So the update took well above 35-40 minutes, and that is quite unexpected when you compare that with the other updates that we did with the Motorola smartphones. So you actually have to wait about 35 to 40 minutes for the update to complete, and then it would start with the upgrading process of the apps. That's where the apps would be optimized for the new OS update. So here it is finally, after about a struggle of 45 to 50 minutes. It took a lot of time, and here's the Lollipop update. First thing you'd notice is the notifications on the lock screen itself. If you go to the lock screen, on the lock screen you'll see these notifications. A lot of them are already pending, and you'd see a time widget as well here, and this would be needed to pull up if at all I had to open the home screen, and the notification panel can be dragged down from the lock screen directly. That is already a feature in the KitKat as well. And this is the update complete note. Your Moto E has been successfully updated to the mentioned version. So let me tap OK, and this is the home screen. So these are all the pre-installed applications that are already here. This is how the notification panel would look like. There are several notifications, they would be shown this way, and you notice there are no quick settings given here. You have to drag it down for the second time so that these quick settings show up. And there are settings for the brightness sensor, and this is something good because when I'm toggling the brightness, it would directly show me the home screen so that I can get an idea of how good the brightness is. And once I'm done with that, if I leave, it shows the quick settings back again. So there are options for the connectivity options, and there's auto rotate, location, and if you notice, it's not very fluidic or easy to scroll up and down. It's a bit hard, and that is where the processor might be taking a lot of load. And for the notifications as well, if you tap it for long, it would show up the information of that particular application, and if I go to some other notification in the same way, I can just swipe it to left or right, and I can even set for the frequency or the priority of the notifications. This is the app list. I don't see the whitish colors. Let me go to the settings. So the settings has been changed quite well. This was not what we had seen earlier. It's 5.0.2 version on the Android Lollipop. So this is the Android Lollipop OS. So this has changed, but the material design with the separate app drawer that was seen in the Moto X 2nd Gen. I have the Moto X 2nd Gen with me. If you can see, this has the same lock screen section, and if you go into this, there's this whitish area of app drawer which is not seen on the Moto E, and that is quite surprising because I had expected whatever was there on the Moto X and Moto G, that might be brought here, but that's not given in this section. Let me go into the settings once again, because the battery is somewhere we see some of the changes in Android Lollipop. So the battery usage data isn't available right now because the phone is charging, and there's a battery saver mode that's separately available here. This is something new again, because to help improve the battery life, it reduces the device performance and limits the vibration and most background data. Email, messaging and other apps that rely on syncing may not update unless you open them. That is what you would expect from a battery saver mode, and when it's coming as a part of the OS, that is pretty good. If you see, I have turned the battery saver on, and the colors have changed for the status bar as well as the bottom bar where you see the navigation keys. So that is where most of the animations have gone, and there would be no auto syncing. Even if I am connected to the Wi-Fi or anywhere, there would be no syncing. I'll have to manually go to the applications which I wanted to sync, and that is what the battery saver function would do here. And if I wanted to check about the battery, I can directly go to the notification panel. There's a battery icon there, and that is where I can go directly to the battery settings, and there's this battery saving mode, and I can turn it automatically for about 5% battery or 15% battery, and I can set it up manually whenever I wanted to. Now if you check the Moto X 2nd Gen's Lollipop update, there's this setting for the user account and even the guest mode. I can add a new user, I can do more with the more settings, and I can add them here. But if you check that on the Moto E, there's no setting for the guest mode. Even if I tap it multiple times, it doesn't show me any way to set up a profile, and the contact does not exist, it is what it shows. Let me go to the settings and check if there's something available right from here. So there's a Motorola ID section, and there are no separate settings for the user accounts. I'll try to do that later on, and if at all there's something, we might be changing it directly in the description below, but right now I don't see anything as such. So the major changes here are the lock screen. First of all, lock screen now shows you all the notifications where you can open them directly here. So this is how the notification would show up, and there are a lot of animations that you can see here. And this is the notification panel. Dragging it down would show you the quick settings. These are the quick settings again, and the other changes are with the main thing, that's the Android version has changed to 5.0.2, and in the display as well you would see this adaptive brightness that would optimize the brightness level for the available light. So that is something new again. Ambient display is what notifications have been there on the Moto E and all the Motorola smartphones. Wake the screen when notifications arrive. So that is ambient display, but adaptive brightness is something good and new in the Moto E. So this was all about the Android version, that's the 5.0.2 on the Motorola Moto E smartphone, the 1st gen one, and this is the new one that Motorola has pushed as an update. So this is what you would see under the about section when you tap it for long. If you see the Motorola Lollipop, the Android Lollipop update logo, if you tap that for long, it would show you this game which you can play. So that is one cool animation that we are seeing from Google. So this was all about the Android Lollipop 5.0.2 update, the official update on the Motorola Moto E smartphone. This isn't as perfect as I had expected. There are a few issues with the performance as well. I see it not the fluid way it should be. There's a bit of lagging behind and such, but I feel that might be because of the applications that are pre-installed. I had about 60 apps installed, so that is where it might be taking up a load. And I'll be again updating you later on whether the update is good or not, and that we would be doing on our websites Android Advices and PhoneRadar. So do check out PhoneRadar for more videos, updates and reviews. Thank you.